The timeline that we're on at the moment is positive. And many people say, well, if it's positive, why is there so much pain and suffering happening at the moment? And that's a very good question, and I want to try and address it. If you are a member of the elite, you want a structure left. You don't want to destroy your country. What you want to do is to remove the people from that country, because it's wrong to think that high members of the elite, the Illuminati, don't appreciate the forest or appreciate rivers and seas. Of course they do. The only difference is they want it for themselves. So they want to walk out into a forest and not see anybody. They want to walk out to a beautiful waterfall and not see another living soul, because they've all been murdered. That's the plan. They want all this beauty for themselves. They have never been taught to share. So that is a timeline that they wish. That is a timeline that must never be allowed to happen. There are a number of outcomes, a number of timelines, but it is the humans themselves who will dictate where we are on that. And the sad thing is that so few people are consciously awake, but there are enough people awake to make that decision. So there are enough of us, we can do it, and they are terribly frightened. The elite are terribly frightened of anybody who stands in their own truth. Now, we don't want to get into politics, but you remember several scenes where flowers are put down the barrels of guns. That is a nightmare to the elite, absolute nightmare, because if you retaliate with violence, then those soldiers will retaliate with violence, and everything is seen as equal. But if you face these people in a non-violent way, it is something that they can't cope with. It's often said that we will move into the fifth dimension and miss out the fourth dimension. My understanding is that we will pass through the fourth dimension but won't stop there. The fourth dimension is where, in street talk, the bad guys are. In more professional talk, it's where all the heavy, dense energies lie. And at the moment, they are so heavy and dense that they are bulging down into the third dimension. I believe that the human race will enter the fourth, but not stop there. It will move on to the fifth, at which point it will then stop to start the learning process. And this is a tremendous change, because those creatures that have oppressed freedom will actually be behind us from a linear perspective. And so, although we are technologically inferior to many of these creatures, we will prove that the spiritual capability of humans is actually greater. The earth will choose to evolve. That is a natural course of all living creatures. If you have good intent, you will evolve towards the positive. If your intent is not of a good sort, then your evolution can be very variable and can lead you down a dead end. Those are the old energies. These are the energies that we are leaving behind. This planet is leaving that value behind it. And we are going forward with a far more open and truthful engagement between people on this planet. And even some people who are totally unawake are frankly quite sick of what's gone in the past. They want something different. People are crying out for a new way to do things. The future is ours. We just have to be brave enough to reach out and take it, and do it in a way that is beneficial for us, our families, our friends, and the planet.